What's going on, guys? It's Boss on here. I am back here on the channel with another video, and today's video is going to be another Storytime compilation. The main reason why I'm making another Storytime compilation video is because I made a poll suggesting if anyone would want to see the video, and most of the views, most of the polls were most of the people that want to see the video. 75% of the polls were basically just people like, it's your decision, but I'm pretty sure most of the people are probably gonna want to see the story time anyways, because I'm their favorite YouTuber, of course. I'm everyone's favorite YouTuber. I'm literally the GOAT. I'm Boss Han. What do you expect? Also, since it's summer, there's a lot of time that I can use to put in videos. There's not that much work that I need to do for school. Summer school, of course, in this summer, unfortunately, because, there's some grades I have that are bad in some of my classes. Just one, actually, but since it's the summer, I have a lot more time to make videos, and because of this, I feel like just making storytime compilations, because, it's a summer where, you can do anything, basically. So, yeah, Today's video will basically be storytime compilations up to an hour of all the Karen and maybe some spoiled kid videos that have Karen interactions with them. So most of them are going to be my favorite, or some of them will just be random. But yeah, grab your movie treats or popcorn or maybe even a Coke or soda, because get ready for movie story time while I'll here study for summer school. And yeah, it's gonna be lame for me, but it's gonna be good for you guys, so enjoy. So because this is Christmas time around, fast food places are going to have Christmas deals that could probably save you a lot of money. Now here in America, because of these deals are really much in a matter of other people, a lot of people demand a lot of these Christmas deals, and sometimes people get so excited and so serious about this that they tend to fight people over it, which I don't understand. Why would you want to fight people over food? You could just get more. It's not that cheap. It's not that expensive just to get a little hamburger from Jack in the Box or even McDonald's. Anyways, this one day during the month of December, me and my family were going to go out somewhere to eat. But because there were so much places that were closed, there was one place that was Jack in the Box in which we went there to eat. Because not a lot of places on Christmas tend to open because they want to spend the holidays with their families, which is really understandable. And so we get into Jack in the Box, we order, and me and my family, we just sit down and start eating our food. And at first, nothing was bad was happening. We were just eating our food, drinking our drinks. I was just here editing some videos. But then I heard the door open, and I just take note that there was two random people. They're not related. They're not friends. They're just two random people that come to Jack in the Box. And the others and us, we look at the people. And I just take note of, hey, these two people are coming to order. And so I wasn't really paying attention, except that one of the persons was ordering the special deal, and one of the other persons was ordering a regular deal. Now, for the purpose of the story, we're going to be calling the person who ordered the special deal Karen, and then Daren's going to be the one that ordered the regular deal, because, what do you expect someone that just yells and argues over Jack in the Box field? Hey, why do you have my Christmas deal? What are you talking about? This is my order. I ordered it. What are you talking about? No, this is my food. I ordered it from my app, and I came here to get my food. Jesus Christ, man. These Karens just tend to be more aggressive and dramatic literally every year. And so a few minutes later go by, and the Karen's order was called. And so the Karen walks up to get her food, but then suddenly the Daren comes up, and he then tries to grab the food. But then the Karen says, hey, why are you grabbing my food? I ordered it. And he says, no, that's my food. I ordered the Christmas deal. But clearly, we all know that the Daren, surprisingly, except for the Karen, was the one that didn't order the Christmas special. But then the Daren explains of how, no, this is my food. I can do whatever I want. Since I ordered it, it's my food. And then he starts tugging at the plate. And when the Karen sees this, she tugs the food back, saying, no, this is mine. And then the Daren says, no, this is mine. And they just start doing a tug of war. However, because of how the reality of gravity, what happens is that later, the Karen lets go of the food, and then the Daren just just suddenly falls backwards, and then the food just goes everywhere. The fries, the burger, and the drink spreads out everywhere. It's all like a giant mess. And now like Karen's screaming at Daren saying, "What in the flippity flop did you just do to my food? Now you're gonna pay for me. I demand a refund immediately." However, because of the Daren doesn't want to stand his ground, he gets up in the Karen's face and says, "Oh, what are you talking about? I don't need to owe you anything. That was your fault. That was your fault that you let go of the plate. If you didn't let go of the plate, then this would have happened." And then they just start going off on each other. How, "No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault." And then all of a sudden, guys, Daren throws a punch right at the Karen's face, and then all of a sudden, a all-out war has begun. No. This is not just a ordinary, regular people going crazy. No, this is a Karen and a Daren fighting. This is very serious. And for me, because it's rare seeing people fight, especially for two Karens to fight in a fast food, I was kind of a little bit hyped because I was like, oh my god, this is something I've never seen before. But although I don't really want this to happen, it's sure entertaining as hell. However, before they could start fighting, of course, the manager comes out and says, hey, knock it off, stop fighting. But of course, if you're going to be yelling at Karens as starting fighting, you better call 911 because there's literally no stopping back. Because I'm pretty sure the Karens are not going to listen to the audience saying, "No, don't fight, this is very dangerous." Because I'm pretty sure that one of them want to have that food, but now it's too late because one of them ruined it. Now, obviously, violence is never the answer. I do not agreeing to fighting, but if we're obviously going to see something like this, some people might enjoy this. Now, and I understand that some people might not enjoy fighting, but come on, you're gonna see two Karens, something that's never happened and rarely happens. Of course, it's gonna be one of the best fights marked in history, a Karen versus a Daren. But as they're fighting, the cops tend to come around like 5 minutes later, and all of the fighting ends. And what it ends up to is them both getting arrested, because guess what? It's not really fun to fight in the middle of the night. Or should I say, it's not really a good idea to fight in the middle of a crowd, because you know what happens? Someone's gonna call the police and your guys are gonna get arrested. Anyways, guys, that was a story of these two Karens fighting. I know this. So this whole entire thing started when I was at lunch, and I had the fabulous idea to make an edit, which what kind of edit I was going to make? That was a versus edit, which for those who don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically where you take one character or like any character, like a comic character or an anime character, and see who has better speed and who has the better like attack, whatever other stuff, and then you just like make pictures, like flash edits. Like, I guess I'll put one up on the screen. I don't know, I'm probably too lazy not to, but you can just search up edits and you can just see the people versus each other, and you'll see like at the end I'll say who wins. They'll say no diff, high diff. But my plan was to make an edit that would probably piss off quite a bit of few anime fans, and that is, there's just this certain character that's basically unbeatable, and his name is Max. And Max, he's really undefeatable character because he has an ability called AB, which basically which pretty much prevents them from using their ability. So basically, once he touch you physically, then like you're basically just like a normal human. You can't do anything about it unless he untouches you physically, and plus he just resets your power. So it's basically really overpowered, and so I decided to put him in an edit and say it's Max versus every single anime character. And basically how the edit would go is that you would just solo every single anime character, and what my goal was to make someone mad. And so I started editing the pictures, the words, the text, and I'm able to make the video. And while I was editing this video, my friend Max was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm making an edit on trying to piss people off." And it's like, "Oh, that's pretty funny." I mean, first of all, listen, I know that some people can't take a joke, but listen here. It was just a nice joke. It was just something for fun. It's not directly supposed to make you mad. It's supposed to make you a little bit mad, and it's like, oh, this guy's just making an edit for fun or whatever. I'll just let him be. But I guess in like the future of what's gonna happen here, I was expecting something that may have been gone to a downturn. But I export the video to my storage and I post it to YouTube. And so because my channel doesn't really get that much views, there's obviously not going to be that much people that's going to watch the video. Because how shorts goes is that if you're like a very popular YouTube, it's most likely that other viewers will see that video in the shorts section. But because I'm an underrated YouTuber, it's not going to be that much that people are going to see it. However, hours go by and some people see it. It kind of got to attention. From the total amount of views it got, I get like 740, I think, which was a total of 30 likes. And that's not bad if you're talking about to a underrated YouTuber or small YouTuber like me that at the time had 100 subs. But so far there wasn't any comments, which was kind of weird because I'm pretty sure there would be at least one anime comment saying, oh, blah, 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 this isn't fair, or something like that. But I got this one comment, and it wasn't too bad. I was kind of a little bit disappointed because I was kind of expecting them to rage in the comments a little bit. But from what the person said is that I'm pretty sure that he was confused on who this Max character was, and he put in a comment saying, oh, I don't know who this Max character is, but I'm pretty sure that's not a real character. In which, for those who don't know, he is a real character. I mean, yes, he's a comic character, but he's also an anime character. That's because there's an anime on my main channel called Devin's Bizarre Journey, and I made it myself, which you can check on my homepage. It's the main videos on my channel, just an FYI, but he is an anime character, so this edit does exist. Well, it works, basically. And so I show my friend Max a comment, and he was like, oh, I guess we kind of pissed someone off. I'm like, I don't think we pissed someone off. It's just that this guy was confused who this guy was. And so my friend Max goes into my comment section and explains to the stranger of how Max's abilities work. So I waited for a reply, but I guess this person wasn't really interested in talking, and he just wanted to leave a comment. But there was a like again, so I had a total of 31 likes now, which I guess is kind of nice. And so I waited for like another hours to go by and there wasn't any more comments, but as time goes by, I was like, oh, whatever, I'm just probably gonna delete this a little bit later because I don't really like making shorts on my main channel. I post on my second channel, which is The Real Dual Hand, if you guys want to go check out the Yu-Gi-Oh videos I post over there. But sometimes I guess I'll make shorts over here, but just not too much. But one day later, I get a comment on my phone while I'm in math class, and I was like, I'm not gonna read this right now because obviously I'm in math class, and the math teacher that I go in my math class is really strict, and I'm pretty sure they would take my phone immediately if I see it in 1 second, even just to check the time. So after when school ends, I go to see my phone, and I see this guy kind of raging in my comments saying like, oh, how is this character able to defeat every character? This guy, you don't understand of the blah 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 contents of how anime characters work, which I guess kind of works if you're talking about certain characters, but it's kind of hard to explain of how Max's abilities work. So I would need a little bit more help on explaining of how Max's abilities work, but he can pretty much solo a lot of anime characters even though they're strong. I mean, Saitama's easy, but I'm like, hey, at least, hey, look at that, we just got our first angry comment. And so I was going to respond to the comment, but then I get another notification on my phone that's coming from another video, and that is this guy comment on one of my edits, which was a video of Jesus Christ versus Arceus, which is a god battle, which is the same thing as the versus edit. And he was talking about, oh, it's disrespectful to put religion against others, which I guess kind of makes sense if you're talking about certain things. But this is an edit. I don't think Jesus Christ is going to get upset because this edit is literally me talking about how Jesus Christ solos Arceus, which Arceus is a god from Pokemon, and I'm pretty sure that Jesus Christ can still solo Arceus even without this from this edit. However, I'm not sure if you know this, but there's already been hundreds and thousands of edits of Jesus Christ soloing other anime characters, so your point doesn't really make any sense of how me making an edit on Jesus Christ is kind of disrespectful. First of all, I already respect Jesus Christ, so your point is already destroyed. But I kind of realized that this might have got out of hand. This guy might probably have been pissed off so much from the edit I made. I mean, I have to admit though that the edit I made wasn't that great. I mean, yes, it was kind of good, I guess, but like how I edited the video, but my editing skills were not as professional as how other people would edit videos. It was not that professional. However, because I was kind of getting a little bit worried that this guy is gonna get more outrageous, that I texted my friend saying this guy's kind of going a little bit haywire as he's talking to a wall, and he was like, hey, maybe you should block this guy. And so I thought about it for a minute. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna block this guy because this might go a little bit out the window. And so I blocked this guy, and then time from time YouTube systems automatically delete his comment and hit him from posting future comments on my comment section, and I never seen this guy again. But one picture that was sticking to my memory is this guy having a Goku AI generated picture. But yeah, that's a time where I pissed off an anime fan, and I hope you guys. So this all takes place during the summertime. Well, no, actually before my summer vacation started. But my parents wanted to go somewhere afterwards after this beach party. Well, not beach party. Oh my god, I can't say correctly, but I was invited to a pool party, and after that, while me and my mom were driving back to my house, my mom asked, "Hey, tonight I'm gonna invite this babysitter to babysit you guys, because me and Dad, well, you guys know what I mean. We're gonna go off and go see a movie, and I thought that, hey, that maybe this babysitter's gonna be cool, because babysitters, in my opinion, were probably one of the greatest days they can ever have, because you're hanging out with someone that you think is gonna be someone cool and watch you guys instead of your parents. So my parents dropped me off with my sister as well, and then she says, hey, in an hour the babysitter's gonna get here. So an hour goes by and the babysitter arrives. She knocks on the door, and then I open the door and I say, hello there, and then she says hello back. Now, usually when people tell babysitter stories, they would say that they're really crazy at first. Well, not at first, but you know what I mean. They're really crazy at the start, and then things just get worse. However, for my babysitter, she was completely the opposite, because instead of her being crazy from the start, she would be absolutely chill, and then to what I discovered, that she would be an absolute menace. So an hour goes by, and this lady is absolutely fun to play with, because we're playing tic-tac-toe, and then after that we decided to play a game of Jenga. And Jenga is one of my favorite games as a kid. And after Jenga, I was like, hey, can we go eat something? And then she says, oh, sure, what would you like? And I said graham crackers, right? And she says, oh, how about you eat banana? Like some vegetable, like carrots or something. Really? You want me to eat vegetables? Little kid me does not want to eat carrots, okay? I don't like eating vegetables as a kid. However, now I do. I kind of want some vegetables, as right now, because I'm trying to be healthy. But little kid me doesn't want to eat vegetables. Little kid me wants to eat goldfish and play video games on my Xbox 360. And I just said, no, thank you. How about I get some graham crackers? And she says, no, you're going to eat vegetables or else. And I tell, well, what do you mean, what else? And she says, well, then I'm going to tell your parents that you're not acting how you're supposed to act, like a nice person. And I tell her, well, that doesn't make sense. I don't like carrots. You can't just force me to eat stuff. And then she says, well, I'm the babysitter. I can do whatever I want. However, unfortunately for me, when I was a little kid, I was a person that would easily get scared. So immediately after that, I was like, okay, fine, I'll eat the vegetables. So I'm just sitting here eating these carrots while I'm complaining the whole entire time of how I don't want to eat vegetables, and I want to eat some graham crackers while I'm just sitting here hearing this babysitter give me a lecture of how I should be healthy and all that stuff. And that's fine. I want to be healthy, yes, but little kid me does not want to eat vegetables. Little kid me wants to eat goldfish and other things like pizza and stuff. However, in my little kid brain, I thought that, hey, maybe, even though I don't like eating vegetables, maybe this babysitter is just secretly a nice person. Well, I guess that I was on the wrong foot there, because apparently I was wrong the whole entire time about this person being a nice person. I thought this person was really nice, because at first she was cool. We were having some fun. She acted really nice. But now I guess she's revealing her villain arc. So after eating all these carrots, I go to my room to play video games. And then I hear the babysitter saying, where do you think you're going, sir? And I tell her, oh, I'm gonna go play on the Xbox 360. And she says, oh no, you're not going to play on the Xbox. Video games are bad for you. How about you read this book novel? And she pulls out a book, and I thought it was, hey, maybe some Captain Underpants, maybe some Diary of a Wimpy Kid. No, it's this novel book that I don't even know how to read that well. I think it was like a level like 100 book of what I can remember. It was like I just couldn't understand it because, well, little kid me doesn't know how to read the Lord of the Flies book, which is a really difficult level of reading. However, little kid me can only understand books that are level Captain Underpants and other types of easy books. I would probably prefer The Hatch and then reading The Lord of the Flies. But yet again, I was pressured into watching this movie. And well, I thought, hey, whatever. I don't want to get I don't want my parents to get me in trouble because I wasn't behaving correctly, even though I was. She decides that she's gonna put on this movie, and what type of movie it is? She decides to put on a horror movie, a scary movie that little kids can't watch because horror movies are films that kids would easily get scared. And guess what? She forced me to watch a movie, a scary movie. And you know what it was? It was the Conjuring movie. And still till this day, I would still get freaked out on the Conjuring movie because I've seen it before. And I swear, it's the most scariest thing I saw. And after that, I was so scared that I did not want to do anything else. But then after the Conjuring, she says, well, what else do you want to do? And I told her that, hey, I don't want to play with you anymore. I don't want to do anything because you literally scared me. And she says, oh, come on. It's not that scary. Bruh, you're telling me The Conjuring is not that scary? It is one of the most scariest movies, in my opinion, and you cannot make me wrong. And she starts getting angry. She starts getting angry because I was scared from watching a horror film that I don't think little kids are supposed to watch because I said they will get easily scared. In which I was pretty much scared at this point because, well, it's a horror film. How could you not be scared? However, I decided that, hey, well, how about instead I can just go to sleep and call it a day. And I told her, hey, I'm just gonna go to sleep if that's fine with you. And I am about to approach my room. And then instead she says, actually, no, how about you sleep with me and I can read you a bedtime story. And then at this point, I didn't want to interact with her because, well, in all honesty, she was crazy. She made me eat carrots and watched a horror film. And I can guarantee you, after that, you made me watch a horror film. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna like you as a babysitter anymore, just to let you know. But she reads me a bedtime story, and I thought, hey, maybe, just maybe, even though there was a bunch of red flags, maybe, just maybe, she can read me a great bedtime story like The Pigeon, whatever. I forgot what that book. It was this pigeon and whatever. Maybe some Dr. Seuss, but no, she doesn't read me that. She reads me a level 100 novel yet again, and it's not even that interesting. It's not even making me go to sleep. However, I guess because it was so boring, I was able to sleep. And then the next day I woke up, and it's obviously the weekend because it's almost summertime. And I see my parents on the couch watching TV, and then my dad sees me and says, "Oh, hello there. You woke up. Did you have a great time?" And with I guess I was kind of a little bit not paying. I wasn't thinking through. I was like, yeah, it was a great time. And well, I guess they thought that, this babysitter was a cool babysitter. And so they invited her back for another one in which I was able to get classic revenge on the next story. So I'll tell you this. If this video gets 5, I'll give it a challenge. If this video gets 6 likes, I'll tell you part 2 of this crazy babysitter. So once again, sometime later, like during the summer, my parents wanted to go instead of seeing a movie, they wanted to go out to a concert. And this concert was a music concert. However, they liked this type of rock band. I forgot what it was called, but they liked this type of rock band. So they decided that they're going to set up with the same babysitter as I had from the last time. And you can honestly tell that I did not like the sound of that, because this babysitter, like I said, was mean. If you were able to find the other video, the first part of the video, in which you will understand that this is the second part of the video. But anyways, the babysitter comes, and then I greet her at the door, and for some reason, she did it again, where, if you guys don't know, this babysitter, she acts normal at first, but then like later she becomes like really mean and insane. And that's what happened in the first part, and which you guys would already know if you watched the first part, which again I'll put a link in the description and below. But it started again where, at first, well, before this all happened, where she was coming to my house. Before the hour has passed, I was planning to, hey, what's a way to, tell my mom to, hey, don't invite this babysitter back in, because she doesn't really treat us with the respect. And that's when I remember that, hey, I have a phone. I mean, I don't have a phone, but I have this like little mini recording device. It's not really a recording device. It's just that my aunt gave me this phone that you can only play music on it, and you can only record it. It doesn't have access to the internet, which is the downside, but hey, at least I was able to record videos. Sadly, that phone died because, well, I had to recycle it, because, well, the unfortunate thought is that one day, one day it got too many hits, and it started in the battery started to turn waste, so we had to give it away, well, to the recycle bin. So yeah, RIP old phone that I used to have for as much adventures throughout the past 5 years. Anyways, outside of that PTSD that I apparently had back then, I decided that, hey, I'm gonna try to catch this babysitter and into not having her coming back again. And what I was gonna try to catch her doing was, I was gonna record this whole entire thing of her, making me all do all these stuff that I don't really like to, and try to catch her of, being mean and stuff. And one thing is that I had to keep this very secret. And I know, hey, maybe recording a video wouldn't work, because she would obviously see. So how about just maybe I hide it somewhere. And I was like, oh yeah, I could just hide it in my pocket. Which is, obviously, you just hide it in your pocket, and then I could just record the audio for you. So I hid the phone in my pocket and was, doing the usual stuff when the babysitter comes. Instead of forcing me to eat food, I was out playing video games, and then she seizes me while playing video games, and she's like, "Oh, so you're telling me this is how you spend your free time, playing an Xbox? What even is this video game?" And I said, lady, listen here. I'm playing Halo 3. It's one of my favorite video games, and plus, I sometimes play Borderlands, but I usually play Halo 3 because it's one of the most coolest video games I usually play to spend my free time. And then she says, "What happened? You actually read some books, because video games are bad for you. They cause you to go insane." And first of all, video games doesn't cause you to go insane. The only things that can make you go insane is, being obsessed with video games, because, well, there's something wrong with you. And once again, like last time, she forced me to read these books. That, if you guys don't know from the last part, she made me read these awful novels that are not even interesting, because, well, oh my god, sorry for the notifications, but because I'm not sure about you guys, but little kids aren't really interested of reading like novels with no pictures in it. Like, I would probably read the Last Kids on Earth book rather than like read Lord of the Flies, because Lord of the Flies book has no pictures, and, well, you guys know the point. But she made me read these awful novels instead of playing video games. And if you're a babysitter, if you want to babysit a kid, how about you guys do an activity that's not like related to like boring stuff that kids want to do. If you want to play a board game, go at it, because that's something that I would actually prefer enjoying doing than just reading stupid novels that little kids don't even want to read. By the way, that's just my personal opinion of how to babysit kids. So everything goes fine as planned. Like, I'm doing all these things that, I don't really like doing. And, well, in the middle of doing these activities, we were doing an activity of arts and crafts, and she was making me do this arts and crafts of, well, I don't really remember. I think it was like drawing like a rabbit. So I draw the rabbit as best as I can, and then she commented on it. She says, "Are you kidding me? That rabbit, it does not look like a rabbit. How horrible are your art skills." And I'm just sitting here trying my best to just, follow with it because, I don't want to get caught, you know, being caught with recording this whole entire thing, so then my plan would fail. So I'm trying to cope with the situation as best as I can. However, fast forwarded, it gets to the end of the day, and then the babysitter comes and to the door because, well, my mom's here, and my parents are here, but my parents then knock on the door, and then my babysitter opens the door. Hey, and then there's a talk. Hey, how was da da da? Oh, he was absolutely fine. We did so much stuff together. We had so much fun. We watched this cool movie. It was really cool. Da 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 da. We also did like some arts and crafts. His art skills are really beautiful. Which is a lie, by the way. She was never positive at all. So the babysitter leaves, and then as I see her leaving, I get off the couch, and then I go to my mom, and I tell her, "Hey, how about you don't invite that lady back over because she's an absolute meanie." And then my mom goes, "Well, why is she mean?" And then I tell her everything, and then I give her the evidence. So well, I didn't have like evidence obviously from the first time, but I had evidence from like the second time, and then my mom was obviously concerned because she doesn't want someone being mean to their children. So obviously well, my parents weren't gonna invite her back over again, and well, I got an absolute W and an absolute L from the first day, but on the second day I got an absolute W because I was managed to, well, not what to for my mom to not invite her back over again. But overall, this whole situation, I would rate it 1 out of 10 because of the amounts of pain and suffering. I'm just kidding, not pain and suffering, but like you know what I mean. This babysitter is an absolute person that you don't want to have as a babysitter. You know why? Because this person will make your kid read novels and do arts and crafts, and then if she doesn't do that, then she's gonna tell the parents of that this guy is acting mean, in which he wasn't even acting mean. But yeah, that's a story of how I got revenge on my babysitter. If you want to go, so this story was mainly a dream where I was a cashier at a Target, and I was around 19 or 20 or so, but I was around in college apparently in this dream. And the main reason why I worked at this Target was because there was a large population of people that seen the new series of Pokemon cards, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to get some new Pokemon cards so I can put them in my collection because I really liked Pokemon cards. And so I'm at the cashier, I'm just paying for people's stuff. Okay, no, I'm not paying for people's stuff, but I'm checking people out. I'm making them pay me because of course you can't just have people let out with free food. They obviously gotta pay in the cashier. So they hand over the money, and I put them in the cashier of how cashier is supposed to do their job. Some use a credit card, and I just thought this was going to be a normal shift during a normal day at Target. Like, no, nothing crazy was about to happen. And so an hour has passed, and everything's going fine until I see this lady over here that comes to the cashier. And by the looks of it, my brain automatically assumed that, oh, please don't be a Karen. I don't want to deal with Karens. I've already dealt enough in my life. I don't need more Karen's experiences. But apparently my brain thought that this had to be a Karen. So this lady walked up to the cashier, normal enough, and she puts her groceries on the conveyor belt. I don't know what these things are called, but like the platform where you put your groceries, so like the groceries then move to where the person scans the tags of the groceries. You guys know what I'm talking about, but she puts her groceries on the conveyor belt, and it's like a lot of stuff. It's like things you would bring to a barbecue type style. Like this person brought hot dogs, sodas, and a whole bunch of stuff like she's gonna go to a beach party or something. But that's the type of stuff she's buying. It's like a whole bunch. It's like covering the whole entire conveyor belt. I'm like, okay, this is gonna cost a lot of money, but whatever she's doing, she's probably buying a bunch of stuff for a huge party. And so the total comes out, I'm not kidding, $10,000. $10,000. For some reason, my brain decided to make it very confusing and say that the whole entire order was $10,000. I'm sorry, but if your groceries are $10,000, I think you already have enough. It's probably gonna last you a whole entire year, so you don't need to buy any more groceries, but I don't know what you're thinking about, Brain, but 10,000 groceries, that's kind of a little bit over the top. And so I tell the Karen her total, and she says, 1 second, and she gets out a purse, and she gets, like, all these coupons. Like, it's like you would take out a scroll and it would just keep, like, it's like a never ending hole, basically. It's like all these coupons that she saved up for a lot of years to come. And so I'm like, oh, she probably like did a bunch of stuff to get all these coupons. That's a lot. But when I went to go scan the coupons so that she can pay for her order, these things were very old. They're like back in 1999, like in the 1990s old. And so I told her, hey ma'am, I'm sorry, but you can't use these coupons. And she tells me, well, why can't I? And I tell her, well, these things are very old, and right now it's 2020. You can't use them. They're very old now. They're like expired. And she looks on the day, and it says from 1990 something to 1999. And she says, oh, I don't care about that. Just use them. Like, it's not gonna do anything. And I tell her, ma'am, I'm sorry, but the company policy says when things are expired, they're expired, and they're expired because it's already past 1999. It's literally the year 2020. I mean, right now it's 2024, but this story take place for some reason in 2020. Well, I guess that's because the story was very old. I mean, not very old. It's probably like 2 years old. But anyhow, with the story carrying on, the Karen explains of, oh, are you kidding me? Just come on, just use the coupons. It's not gonna do anything. Like, I can promise you. And I told her, you promise me? Because I'm pretty sure I'll get fired if I just let a Karen just take in a bunch of free food, like she's gonna feed a whole party or something. But again, I tell the Karen, hey, listen, I can't let you use these coupons. It's obvious that I'm gonna get fired if something were this to actually happen. You can't just take in a whole bunch of food from the store. That's probably, I don't know, but like something on my side was like wrong of this person just taking a whole bunch of food. And she says, okay, then let me see your manager. And so the classic voice of let me see your manager, I was like, all right, fine, I'll bring out my boss. So I get my manager out and I tell him that, hey, this Karen wants to use all these coupons, but they're expired. I don't know what to do. She keeps yelling at me and saying that, hey, I need to use these coupons. I have to. And so the manager looks at the coupons and it says they're expired. And so the manager has my back and says, well, I'm sorry, Karen, but you can't use these coupons. They're expired. And she goes, what? What? Are you kidding me? I'm betrayed? I'm betrayed by a manager? You're supposed to be on my team. And the manager's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm supposed to be on your team. I don't even know you, first of all. And second of all, you're not even my employee. So, I mean, I don't know what am I supposed to say, but like, no, I can't just let you just take a whole bunch of groceries for free. You're going to have to pay them all. And so suddenly, this is where the part of the video where I was trying to explain, but I didn't do well explaining because I was literally whispering the whole entire video in the original story time, which I'll put a link in the description. But then the Karen, Larry, for some reason, goes outraged and turns into one of those people that likes using dynamites in the salt mines. And she's like, you know what? That's it. I had enough of stores rejecting my offers. You're gonna pay this. And she all of a sudden whips out a dynamite. And we're like, wait, is that a dynamite? And we're like, hey, we can talk about this. Listen. We can do you a deal. Just put down the dynamite, don't lay on fire, and maybe we'll give you a deal. And she's like, no, blah, 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 blah. I'm tired of everyone betraying me. And she starts throwing a bunch of dynamites. I don't know where she gets these dynamites from, but they, for some reason, just like appear from her purse. And she starts throwing them everywhere. And the store starts exploding. Everything catches on fire. And I'm like, okay, what do we do now? And so the manager's like, okay, I think we should go outside and call the police. And so I go outside. The manager goes back into the lobby and tells everyone we need to get outside now. The Karen's is on a rampage, and so we get outside and we just watch as this Karen goes ballistic on this whole entire target that I've been trying to work so hard for and trying to get money so I can get some more Pokemon cards. But sadly, probably a bunch of packs into the target's probably destroyed due to the Karen. And so the last explosion explodes, and then the Karen storms out of the target, all pissed, saying, "This is what you get for betraying me. You're supposed to give me and let me use all the coupons so I can get all this food. But now, because of you, I can't have my great dinner with my family." And so the manager says, "Well, I'm sorry, but you might not be able to have a dinner with your family even to begin with because look what you did. You're going to have to pay for all these damages." And she's like, "No, I don't need to pay all these damages. This is what you get for betraying me. Ray, I'm Karen. You're supposed to do whatever I want." And so the manager's like, "All right, then I'll let you guys, I'll let you, Karen, deal with who's coming." And then she's like, "What are you talking about?" And so we heard a lot of sirens, and it's not the police, it's not officers, it's the FBI. The FBI heard of what was happening, and so they come storming out because this is obviously a big, massive property damage, and that they probably think this is really, just probably very dangerous. And so the FBI comes through the parking lot. They surround the Karen. They have their guns drawn, and they're like, "Ma'am, you're under arrest." And the Karen replies saying, "No, what are you talking about? You're not supposed to arrest me. You're supposed to arrest them. They did this." And so they just look at the manager and and they look back at Karen saying, "Okay, then who called?" But then she stutters like, because she didn't call and saying of how we did this. My manager called and saying that Karen did all of this. And so just like, "Wait, but I can explain, I can fix all this." Like she's stuttering. She doesn't know what to do. And they're like, "Well, we have no choice, but we're gonna have to take you into custody." And they're like, and the Karen's like, "No, you're doing the wrong person. Why is it always gotta be me? Why me?" So the FBI takes the Karen to their van. They close the doors, and then one of the drivers of the FBI is like, "Okay, so listen here, guys. There's not that much we can do here to fix this target, but you guys are probably gonna need to talk to your boss about this. But we'll let your boss know what happened and say of how a Karen for some reason decided to rage and destroy your target. But we're just gonna take off. I guess have a nice day. I know this is awkward to say because your target just got destroyed, but see you guys later." And they just stroll off. And so now it's just us sitting here at this empty target, not knowing what to do, and that's where I wake up. Anyhow, though, that's a story time about this Karen who got ballistic and destroyed everything in this target over some goddamn coupons that were expired. So for those who don't know, I discovered Yu-Gi-Oh! About like a month ago. I wasn't really interested in Yu-Gi-Oh! I was just only interested in buying Pokemon cards until I discovered Yu-Gi-Oh! So every now and then I would go buy Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, and usually I would buy like the packs, but it seems that I can't find any packs, so I just find like the god dang. Yeah, the structured decks instead of like finding packs, because apparently at my Target they don't sell those packs anymore because it was the 25th anniversary. Anywho, my parents dropped me off at Target while they went to get the Target over for, to get groceries and stuff. And I went over to get some Yu-Gi-Oh cards because, not every single week, but like every other week I would go get sometimes Pokemon cards, but now these days mostly Yu-Gi-Oh cards because I don't know, I just thought they were cool to collect, but I kind of felt interested in playing the game, but sadly I couldn't find anyone to play the Yu-Gi-Oh card game with. But anywho, I went over to the Yu-Gi-Oh section and I get these Yu-Gi-Oh cards, the Yu-Gi-Oh deck structure, because there's no packs there. So I go over and I went over to the cash register. And before I can pay my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I feel a tap on my hand, and I look over while the cashier is trying to talk to me, and then the cashier notices the kid that's that's right next to me saying, "Hey, do you mind if you can give me some cards?" And I tell him, well, for one, I would only able to get you one Pokemon card pack. I mean, like, well, what cards do you want? And he says, Pokemon. It says, well, I'm sorry, but I can't give you, I mean, I can't buy you a Pokemon card pack because, well, I don't have to give you anything. I'm just here to spend my own money on my own things, so I'm sorry. Maybe next time, but like, I'm not gonna do that. But instead of, realizing of, hey, maybe this kid, maybe this guy doesn't want to let me give him Pokemon card packs. Maybe I can just go back and go on with my day. But no, instead he asked me again to get some to get him Pokemon cards. Instead of this time, he wanted me to get the newest edition of the Elite Trainer box. And I told him, "Are you kidding me right now? I only have $20 in my wallet. I'm sorry that the fact that I don't get paid that much to just buy instant amount of large packs. But you know what? It's not my problem that I can't buy you stuff. All right, I'm just a normal person trying to go through their day, try to enjoy something. But no, now I'm not gonna give you Pokemon cards because of that you're trying to get something even more bigger." And then the kids kind of gets a little bit red, and then he walks away. So then me, thinking of, hey, maybe this guy, this was a kid who wanted to ask me to get some Pokemons, but he walks off. So now I'm thinking, hey, maybe this situation over. So I get my Yu-Gi-Oh, and as I go out through the door because I already paid. I hear someone say, "Ahem, excuse me, young man," and I turn over, and ladies and gentlemen, I meet with a Karen, the son of a Karen. You know who's sitting next to the Karen? The kid who asked me to get him Pokemons, and the Karen tells me, "Excuse me, my son asked very nicely for you to get him Pokemon cards. Now you better get him Pokemon cards." And I told the lady, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, I don't have enough money, and plus, I don't even have to give your kid Pokemon cards, and plus, I'm not part of your family. I am just some random teenager trying to go through his day just to enjoy himself by opening a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, alright?" And the Karen starts to turn red, and she says, "Excuse me, young man, I know you just not said that. That's not how you treat someone with respect." And I go and look at her, and I say, "Man, I'm sorry. I'm not going to get your son Pokemon cards. I am not, I don't have any money. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have to listen to you. I'm not part of your family. What am I supposed to do?" So I turn and to go out to the door, but then all of a sudden I feel grabbed by my hand, and I see her. You are going to get my son Pokemon cards, young man. Do you understand me?" And I tell her, "Ma'am, I'm sorry. I'm not going to give your son Pokemon cards. I already said this for the last time. No." And she says, "Well, if you don't, then I'm going to be calling your parents. I'll be finding a way to track you down and call your parents to tell you how you've been disrespecting us." Disrespecting us? I wasn't disrespecting you guys. I was telling you guys that I don't have to give your son Pokemon cards, and I'm definitely not going to give you Pokemon cards now. And either way, I would never give you guys Pokemon cards because, literally, I don't have that much money. I don't have the money of a billionaire, alright? I'm just some random teenager that's broke and wants to just wants to have a nice day and getting to open Yu-Gi-Oh cards and basically study them for hours upon hours, just enjoying himself. All right, he just doesn't want to spend time arguing over a Karen of how her son is a good boy and deserves everything in the world. I'm sorry. And so I tell her that, "Ma'am, I'm not going to say this again. I am not buying your son Pokemon cards." And I basically slapped her hand, and she let go. And then she just said, "Oh my god, did you just touch me?" And I tell her, "Ma'am, listen, I didn't touch you. You started this first by grabbing my hand and, just started threatening me, all this stuff." And then she proceeds to start screaming because I broke her ego and started saying, "This man is attacking me," which I'm a teenager, all right. I mean, yes, I kind of look like an average JoJo character that looks like an average adult, but listen here, I'm just a teenager that's almost graduating high school. I mean, not almost graduating, but I'm still in high school, all right. I'm just trying to enjoy my day, and that's when I hear the sound of an employee come over here, and then she says, "Ma'am, is everything all right? Like, what's happening over here?" And then she starts explaining of how, that I'm mistreating them and how he's being really unfair. And then after that, the employee says, well, to me, "Hey, what happened? Yeah, she told her part, but I want to hear from you." And then I tell her, she is saying that I have to pay for her son Pokemon cards, something on the lines of like what just happened. I explain everything to her, and the employee says, "Ma'am, doesn't have to pay your son Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Not Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Pokemon cards." So there should be no reason of why you should like attack him. And because of that, we're gonna have to officially kick you out, Karen. And then the Karen says, "Oh, what? You're kicking me out right now?" And then the employee says, well, yeah. First I'm gonna have to call I'm gonna have to call my manager, but we're gonna have to kick you out, Karen." And the Karen starts screaming, "Well, what are you talking about? You can't kick me out. He was being unfair first." And well, at this point, I was just tired, and I didn't want to be in this situation anymore. So I dipped. I dipped. I didn't want to be in part of this. I mean, I could, but my parents was still taking Target order. So I decided that, hey, maybe this is my chance to escape. So I leave Target and I go back to my parents' car, and my parents tell me, "Hey, what took you so long?" And then I tell them, "Oh, I have a great crazy story to tell you." But yeah, that was the time where today what just happened is that I got jumped by a Karen try to get me to buy her some Pokemon cards, but well, I was able to get through the situation. But yeah, I hope you guys. So in my middle school, in the 8th grade, we had this science teacher that was very serious about stuff, and this teacher isn't about like fun and games. I mean, she likes to have let us have fun during assignments, but like this class, I don't know why, but for some reason this class would be the class of a target for a bunch of class clowns. And what I mean is that a bunch of people like to mess around in this class, and they like to do like play computer games, or like most of the time they'll just like say random things during the class to just interrupt. And this teacher would always get so mad, like rage quit every time. Well, not rage quit, but this teacher would get so mad every time someone would interrupt the class. And because everyone in the school found out about the strict teacher, one of the best class clowns in the whole entire school, we're gonna call him, let's see, we're gonna call him Ricky, I guess, because it sounds like a class clown name. That's not his real name. I don't remember his real name, but we're just gonna call him Ricky. And Ricky, you see, he's one of these kids that would always like to mess around, and also mess around. He likes to trash talk a lot, and also like to trash talk a lot. He likes to mess around during class time. And I know during middle school, it's really hard, like people are changing. However, sometimes these kids can get just really out of hand really quickly. For an example, one time we were in this math class that was a very strict teacher, and Ricky decided that he was going to interrupt the class by, saying how boring this class was. And well, the teacher didn't take that very well. And well, this kind of got to a whole argument. And because of that, well, Ricky had at least 5 minutes of lunch detention because of that. And so that's why this guy is known as a class clown, because he just interrupts class so many times. However, today was the day where this was not going to be a normal class. This wasn't going to just be the normal class where we would just be interrupted like every 5 seconds. No. This one is going to be way beyond the course of class clown level. And so this science class, we had this project of when we came in, the teacher was starting to explain this, and then Rookie raised his hand, and the teacher says, "Yes, what's your question?" And he says, "Well, when do you think we're gonna learn all this stuff? Because to me, it sounds pretty useless." However, this teacher wasn't really good at trash talking or any of that stuff. So kind of gave out a lame answer, which was, "Well, you don't know if you're gonna need this stuff, in like if you don't have any other ideas to get a job or whatever. So it's kind of good to get learn some other stuff." However, some people, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes there's some people would start using the good old word "what." And you know why what? Because it can annoy people so bad. So the guy says, "Well, what do you mean by that?" And then she explains the thing again of how, because you don't know when blah blah blah. And he says, "I mean, like, well, why?" And then I can see the teacher starting to get frustrated because, she's about to commit defeat of this trash talking compilation. That this rookie kid is not even that funny. I mean, back in middle school, it was funny because we're just really goofy. But now in high school, I'm just seeing this as, I don't think this was really funny to begin with. And so the teacher, realizing that this kid is not asking important questions, just messing around, the teacher says, "Hey, if you don't have any more important questions, then you don't deserve to talk. Sit down." And when the teacher said that, for some reason, the rookie kid was a little bit starting to become a little bit embarrassed because, you don't want to have your teacher telling you that when you're trying to mess around with the class. So for some reason, he starts going on a different topic that was really unnecessary of what he was previously talking about, and how he's saying that, "Bro, I can beat you up whenever, anytime. I'm more strong than you." However, the teacher comes back with saying, "I don't think we're allowed to fight in school." And then the kid says, "Well, why not? Are you afraid, huh? Are you afraid, little boy?" And the teacher says, "No, I'm just not allowed to fight. And yes, I can fight you, but I can't fight you because of the law." Now, I don't know what set him off to this day, or what level of craziness this guy's been through, but for some reason it sets him off even more, to the point where he had enough apparently, and he gets off his chair and he grabs another chair, and he says, "All right, we're fighting." And the teacher says, "Well, what are you talking about?" And the rookie kid says, "No, we are fighting. I had enough of you trying to mess me around. We are fighting." And so the teacher, very concerned and aware of what might be happening, says, "Hey, if you throw that chair or do anything to me with that, you're gonna get in trouble." And he says, "Well, I don't care about that. All I care about is revenge." And he throws a chair. He throws at the chair at the teacher. And I don't know. Well, I guess maybe because this guy went to the gym. But this guy, what it looks like is that, imagine just this guy just throwing a chair, but with ease. Like, this guy looks like that he just threw that chair with no stress at all. And like we can see as in slow motion, the chair flies and hits the teacher in the head. However, the teacher was very athletic at the time, and she was able to dodge that quickly. However, the end of the chair kind of hit her a little bit on the head and just slammed into the board. And for at least like 10 seconds in silence, we were just like sitting here with jaws dropping, just looking at the fact that this kid, for some reason, even though this guy was not this guy, rookie here, even though he says that he's not easily offended, for some reason he is today, that he decides to throw like a chair at the teacher. And the teacher says, "All right, buddy, you're done here." And then she goes on the phone and calls security, and like 1 minute later, the security comes. But while she's like calling the security, the guy's like, "You can't call security on me. I did nothing to you." But we all know that, rookie, you done something to the teacher. You just throw the chair at the teacher. What were you expecting? But anyways, the security comes and they take him away. And well, that was the last time we saw Rookie Kid, because eventually we find out later that he got expelled. But yeah, moral of the story is, just don't mess with their teachers. Just don't mess around in school like that way, because you're just gonna get in trouble, alright? So I think we can all agree that we all have one favorite theme park, and Legoland happens to just be mine. And me loving Legoland as a little kid was just the best thing to ever experience. It's like, when you're a little kid and like your parents says, "Hey, let's go to Legoland," you're like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing. What, this is like equivalent to going Disneyland." Disney, if you're watching this, Legoland is better than you. I'm sorry, it's just my opinion. Anyways, about 2 years ago, I went to Legoland for absolutely no reason. Actually, no, it was because it was my birthday and I wanted to go to Legoland just for one day. And this one day, we didn't go to the water park. I mean, yes, it was March. Water parks tend to be open at that time, I guess, but most of the time it would be packed during the summer. I don't know why it wasn't packed during this summer. It's like no one was in line like this summer. I mean, that's not relevant to today's topic because of the thumbnail, but we decided that we're going to go to Legoland. And Legoland, when we get there, it's extremely packed for some reason. I don't know if people just have to be packed on the day of March for some reason, but like, it was way packed when unexpected. So we get into the theme park, we get our tickets, we're signed in, and we're ready to go to have a fun adventure. I think we stayed from like 12 a.m. Well, no, 12 p.m. to at least like 7 p.m. Like we stayed there for a long time, but we rode on the boat ride. We rode on whatever, I forgot what we rode on, but we rode on a lot of stuff. They added that new submarine ride, which was cool, I'm not gonna lie. But the last ride that we rode on Legoland, my personal favorite by the way, is the Ninjago ride. And that's been very popular ever since the park ever came out. And because the Ninjago ride was very popular, I was expecting the line to be as long as people being excited that the Bouncing Souls is playing in a different area, that everyone bought tickets to go see it. But unfortunately, not this time. I was really excited that, hey, this line is not that long. Let's get into the Ninjago ride and get some nostalgia going through. So we get in the line, we get into the ride, and we pick up the glasses, and yes, you have to wear these type of glasses so the thing works, like the ride works. And everything is going good. Like, we're in the ride starts, and we're just fighting enemies. We go through 3 rooms. That's when the ride just stops completely. I mean, yes, the projector is still on, we can still fight monsters, but that's when the music stops. However, this is annoying because if you stop the music, it's very loud, so when it pops back on, it's gonna be very annoying. But the ride stops, and there's someone on the main speaker going, "Attention everyone, please remain seats and do not stand on the cars, alright? Do not stand on your seat. Please sit down. This is part of the safety. Thank you." And at first, I was like, don't worry, that's no big deal. Someone was just not paying attention to their kid. I'll let that slide. Because it's I mean, yeah, sometimes, this never happened to me, but it's sometimes there will be occasions where, some people wouldn't act the way they're supposed to be and just not following the rules. Things like this would happen one time only, and I would let that slide. But if it happens again, then there's gonna be a problem, alright? Because no one wants to be disturbed while we're playing a nostalgia game that's so loud that if you turn off the speaker and then turn it on again, it's just going to be really annoying, and then our ears are going to have to adjust again. Anyways, though, the ride continues for at least 3 minutes, and that's when the ride stops again. And this time, on the main speaker, one of the guys is "Attention, someone's kid, so the person that's taking care on cart number 45 or whatever, we're gonna have to stop the ride because your kid is not paying attention." I mean, obviously he didn't say that, but he the main speaker said that, hey, we're gonna stop this car number 45 or whatever, and we're gonna and the ride's gonna turn back on once we get the situation handled. But now I'm just sitting on my seat, kind of pretty annoyed, because now I have to deal with this whole entire situation of, trying to have my ears adjust when the ride turns back on. But that's when, I see, another room I could look through, and I look to my right. Plus, at the time, I was with, my uncle, my dad, and all of us, pay attention to what's going on to our left. And what do we see is a spoiled kid and a Karen combo on the car, and the Karen's just letting their kid stand on the seat. I mean, I would, I guess, guess that could be a little bit exciting. I guess I would want to do that as a little kid, but it's like, those are the rules, and I don't think it would be a good idea just to start standing on the seat. I mean, yes, you could pretend yourself surfing, but I don't think it's a good idea of when you're standing on the seat and you accidentally hit your head on the pole while the ride's moving. So one of the staff comes out to that number cart, whatever it was, and the staff told her, ma'am, if you can't control your kid, we're gonna have to escort you out of the Ninjago ride. And as soon as the staff says that, we can hear the Karen and the staff start arguing very loud of how, what are you talking about? My son is well behaved. He can stand on the car if he wants. And the staff is like, man, we can't do that because it's a safety concern. Your child can be in a dangerous situation. Like, what if the child just starts flinging off? I mean, the child flings off the ride because the cart stops. I mean, that is a possibility. But, I mean, it didn't happen. But the Karen, she's not having full of it. And so because of that, the staff is like, all right, ma'am, we're going to have to escort you out because we've been arguing for 3 minutes. 3 whole minutes and not getting anything done. And the Karen just starts saying, what? No, you can't get me off this ride. We've done nothing wrong. We absolutely done nothing wrong. In which, Karen, you soccer mom, that's not how it works. Yes, I get that your child, I guess, can be well behaved. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have to follow the rules. You have to follow the rules in order to ride the ride. And now the Karen is just freaking out because for absolutely no reason, and just because the staff is just telling her, hey, we're not gonna let you ride this ride anymore because you're not letting your son behave. But after 2 minutes of her freaking out, she starts saying, I'm gonna call the police, you're harassing us. And no one has harassed her. It's just that her ego is now bruised, and now she's just calling the police. And so the staff is kind of surprised, and he's like, I mean, like, I don't get paid enough for this, but, like, what do I do? And the staff is trying to convince her, hey, I don't think calling the police in this situation is a good idea. You're probably going to get a bit of trouble. But, of course, Karen doesn't listen. So the cops, long not too short, comes to Legoland within, like, 5 minutes. I don't know how there's a police station near us. I mean, I guess because there's another 2 malls after Legoland, next to Legoland, but the cops get to the ride and, like, they see everything's going on. And I think the police are just very annoyed with Karen because obviously nothing is going on, and so now obviously Karen is in more trouble, and the police is like, ma'am, we're gonna have to charge you for this because nothing is absolutely bad is happening. And the Karen is now more of her ego is now bruised, and now she's starting to freak out even more. And so now she's looked like a dead fish, just wailing her arms and saying, I want to get out, I want to get out, I want to get us out. But of course, the ride can't. We can't get out because, of course, the ride doesn't allow us to get off. Like, the thing is locked in place. The seatbelt is locked in place. And so, of course, we have to go back to the front. We have the ride stopped. We have it paused, and we have to go all the way back to the front. And what we see is Karen in handcuffs being escorted out with her son. And I never see the Karen again. I mean, after when I got off the ride, I didn't see Karen because she's probably already gone. But after that, one of the employees says, I'm so sorry, guys. We apologize for the inconvenience. The disturbance. Do you guys want to go again? And obviously, little Kimmy is like, hell yes. I want to go again because yes. We got a Karen story here, but I'm gonna go on the Ninjago again because it's a pretty dang good ride. So yeah, that's another experience I had with a Karen encounter, and I'm pretty sure I'll have no more Karen encounters later in the future. I might work at a McDonald's, you never know. But yeah, that's pretty much the last encounter I ever had with a Karen. Besides from another story I told on the channel about how a Karen family stole my Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, whatever. But I hope you guys enjoyed this story. I think it was pretty funny to tell on the channel. I think you guys would like it because everyone knows they like a good laugh at Karen's just doing stupid stuff. But Yo, you made it through this whole entire 1 hour storytime compilation about Karens and maybe some spoiled kids that made some shitty life decisions, but hey, this took kind of a little bit for me to put together. I mean, this took like 2 hours because for me, when it comes to making storytime compilations, this one didn't take as long to make because I was already prepared for getting some gameplay for the first parts and the last parts of the video. But overall, hope you guys very much enjoyed and were entertained by the story time that pretty much was 1 hour, which is supposed to be every Boss Hand story time compilation video. However, though, something I would really deeply appreciate it if you guys can press the like button on this video. It would really help me out to get this video to other people that are also very entertained by story times. It would push the recommend algorithm. So yeah, if you guys can just press the like button and comment like what parts of the video you guys like, then that would mean a lot very much to me. But other than that, though, if you guys don't press the like button, though, then Waffle House will disappear and you guys will never be able to have your peanut butter and jelly waffle sandwiches ever again for breakfast. And all you have to eat now for cereal is raisins, which no one literally likes raisin cereal. Like, come on. I mean, Captain Crunch is good, though. But on another note, I'll see you guys in another video. And I'm out here. Peace.